Today's dedication is for Terax, who gave me a very generous 1 year's worth of subscriptions on Patreon. Maelstrom Wanderer versus Wilson and the Flaming Fist enchantment. We have fast mana and all of our colours, so it's not the most incredible hand, but there's no reason to throw it back. I built a Wilson Flaming Fist deck myself on the channel, and it's actually a very good deck, so just have to hope that we can outrace our opponent here. Okay, our opponent starts off with a tap land, but does have a Mana Crypt into Mask of Memory down to 3 cards in hand. Alright, and we get into a Sol Ring, so it's just a case of setting up our colours at this point. See your Mana Crypt, and raise you a Sol Ring apparently. And then might as well play the E-Witness at this point to grab that fetch back, because we can make copies of the E-Witness with the Kiki Jiki if we want to. There is a Serra Ascendant from our opponent, followed by Wilson Refined Grizzly, and equipping the Mask of Memory onto the Serra Ascendant. And there's a 1 Power Stone for us, which we're not going to be playing here. I think we just go for the Aurora Phoenix, and that is a 6 mana spell with Cascade. Gets us into a Mystical Tutor, which I'm fine with playing here. So maybe Rishkar's Expertise is the play at this point. Rite of Replication is tempting, but yeah, I think it's Rishkar's Expertise. Then we can refill our hand when we play Maelstrom Wanderer. Have to make sure not to crack the Polluted Delta between now and then though. And our opponent might as well swing in with the Serra Ascendant, because it's going to gain them 6 life here. We can easily get back the Phoenix when we cast our commander, so might as well keep them from drawing cards with Mask of Memory. Now, seeing a Nature's Law, deciding to shock in the Temple Garden. And after that, it is Guardian Augmenter. They had 1 mana floating there, I think, so playing it at sorcery speed. We draw into the Rishkar's Expertise, and now it is Island. We can crack the Polluted Delta. We'll get a 3rd red source ready for the Kiki Jiki, and it's our commander. So we Cascade twice, of course. Worldly Tutor will set us up for the 2nd Cascade, so that's pretty lucky. What do we want here? Coma would be pretty good, I think. So yeah, we'll get down the Coma. That's on top of our library, but we're obviously about to Cascade into it, so cast it without paying the mana cost. And then we'll start threatening commander damage on our opponent, because we don't care if our commander goes down here. They take the commander damage, and during the upkeep we get a Serpent token, and they allow the Coma's Coil to come into play before removing it. They've only got 1 card in hand during the upkeep, so not likely that they'll have spot removal. Our opponent was looking to do something there. Obviously could have tapped down the Serra Ascendant with Coma before they get to attack. Alright, it was a Hunter's Insight. Alright, so yeah, our opponent gets us there. Yeah, should have tapped down the Serra Ascendant, but obviously didn't know that's what they were going for. Makes more of a game out of it, I suppose. Didn't want them to wipe the board and get rid of the Coma there. So they're going to go up to 7 cards in hand again. And then draw even more cards with Mask of Memory. Draw 2, discard 1. Fertile Ground onto an untapped basic, followed by an Avacyn's Pilgrim. And then they've exiled, gone down to 4 cards in hand, exiled a Search for Tomorrow as well. We make a Coma's Coil during every upkeep, including our own of course, so got a surplus of those at this point. And we get a Fertile Ground of our own. So seeing as how we're missing lands, we'll put the Fertile Ground onto the island. That can make us a green mana. And a green mana from the Triome gets us into Rishkar's Expertise. Draw 7 and get a free spell. And maybe it's a Kiki Jiki for free. Yeah, we'll go Kiki Jiki. We can make a copy of the Eternal Witness here. E-Witness grabs us back. I mean, we can just go Rishkar's Expertise again, can't we? Or maybe we can do that next turn. Let's hold up the Worldly Tutor during our opponent's turn. I've just noticed actually that we cast a spell with Cascade, but the Aurora Phoenix didn't come back into hand. Well, we just realised that. Maybe it's bugged. Anyway, E-Witness gives us back the Tutor. Play a Tropical Island. Yeah, pass at that. Actually no reason not to threaten commander damage here, so we'll swing in. Don't mind recasting my commander next turn, especially when we've got Worldly Tutor. So yeah, they go to 14 points of commander. Another Coma's Coil, and Search for Tomorrow gets a suspend counter removed. They do get bolted by Mana Crypt. The Flaming Fist into play now, so they'll be able to give their Hexproof commander double strike when it swings in. A Black Blade Reforged will buff the commander, and that goes on to the commander. So they've got a 9/9 commander at this point. So at the beginning of combat we'll tap down the Serra Ascendant, which I should have done last turn of course. Could have cost us the game at this point, we'll have to see. Again, double strike with Wilson. So we'll go through to blocks, Coma blocks, and a Coma's Coil blocks. Let's block with another one as well, although we're about to sacrifice it to make Coma indestructible. Okay, getting rid of the Coma's Coils first there, I think that means. We'll sacrifice the Coma's Coil to make our Coma indestructible. Obviously means that we take less damage here. And it's only 6 damage to the Wilson thanks to the first strike. We're on 9 points of commander. Go through to the end step, and it's Worldly Tutor for us. I think we have to go after Terror of the Peaks and start dealing some damage. So we draw into Terror of the Peaks, play that out straight away. We'll make a copy of it with Kiki Jiki, which triggers the original Terror of the Peaks, so that's 5 damage. Yeah, we'll throw that on the Serra Ascendant, and we'll also play ourselves a Bloodbraid Elf. And there we go, the Aurora Phoenix is going to come back to our hand now. Cascade first, gets us into a Wild Growth. We'll put that on the Ketria Triome, just in case we need the additional mana. This isn't the 1v1 room, so Strip Mine is legal in this format, so it doesn't matter if we put it on a basic or not. Anyway, that is Terror of the Peaks, Lightning Bolting twice, so we go Lightning Bolt on the Guardian Augmenter and Lightning Bolt on the Serra Ascendant, so now we've taken Hexproof away from our opponent's commander, so a fetch into play, and we can tap down our opponent's commander at this point anyhow. Swing in with the dragons. The Bloodbraid Elf, our commander, they have to block because they'll suffer commander damage otherwise. So throwing the Avacyn's Pilgrim in the way of that immediately. And obviously the Wilson has reach here, so they've thrown it in the way of the Terror of the Peaks. So at this point we can get a nice 2 creatures in combat here. I think we're fine to just grab an island with that because we are low on life. Chaos Warp onto the Black Blade Reforged. Have to be pretty unlucky here if we get them into something scary. Just trying to get rid of their commander so we don't suffer commander damage. Yeah, I don't think we showed anything there. Oh, it was an Open the Armory on top of their library, so that's pretty lucky. We get rid of their Dork, get rid of their commander, and our opponent's going to need a board wipe at this point, but they're still in pretty dire straits after that. Another Coma token triggers the Terror of the Peaks, so we can bolt our opponent's face. They dodge the Lightning Bolt from their Mana Crypt, but the Search for Tomorrow will allow them to search up a basic here. And our opponent scoops it. Yeah, next turn, during the upkeep, I'm probably making a copy of Terror of the Peaks with Kiki Jiki, and then we Lightning Bolt twice with the Coma's Coils. Our opponent's showing us that he had Defiler of Vigor, and on Serra's Wings. We draw into just a forest next turn, so it's likely Aurora Phoenix will cascade us into a Silverback Elder, so each of those are going to trigger 2 Terror of the Peaks for a total of 20 damage, and then there's combat to take into consideration as well, so we definitely had them there. It was pretty risky letting them hit us with the Serra Ascendant, and obviously we got punished for that, letting them draw cards, but wasn't enough for them. We got off to way too fast a start for them, even compared to their fast start. Hopefully you all enjoyed this visit to Maelstrom Wanderer, and I will see you all in the next one. I'm tribalkai. Thank you for watching.